In this lesson, we'll continue to work on comparing text. We'll begin to draft our opinion paper. We're going to ask the guided question, who made a better argument? And by the end of this lesson, you should be ready to draft your analysis. Let's review what text we are comparing. We read Kid Territory, Why Do We Need Zoos?, which had a bias in favor of animals being kept at a zoo. We also read Zoos, Joy or Jails, which had a bias against zoos, saying natural habitats are better for animals. What these two articles had in common was they're both editorials. They were on the topic of zoos and animals' habitats. As you begin to write your opinion paper, let's take a look at the writing process. You've already completed the pre-writing last week when you filled in the graphic organizer. Getting ready to write your opinions. We thought about them and jotted down ideas. I gave you sentence starters, but you didn't necessarily have to use them. As you go to draft your paper, you'll notice some color coding, and we'll talk about that in the next slide. When you draft, you're going to take your ideas from your pre-write and put them in your draft. You might change some of those ideas. As we go on through the week, we'll talk about revising, editing, and publishing. Writing is definitely a process. We think about the same things and write and rewrite them as we fine-tune our paper. Here is an example of an introduction from a pre-write that I put together. I used some of the sentence starters that I'm now going to put into my draft. The author that makes the strongest argument is Rachel F. Their claim is that animals should not be taken from their natural habitat. And I took this claim right from the graphic organizer chart on page 1 of last week's pre-write activity. I can take the same information and plug it into my draft page that I've downloaded from this assignment. I might want to change something as I write it in here. I can copy and paste it to this box. I might want to add the article that Rachel F. wrote. So in my draft, I might change that and say the author that makes the strongest argument is Rachel F. In the article, Zoos, Joys, or Jails. Her claim is animals should not be taken from their natural habitat. That sounds a little bit more like me when I write rather than using the teacher's words. After I've said who has the best article, then I'm going to give my reason. I think that this author has the strongest article because she grabbed my attention right away. So I'm going to take reason number 1 and put it in my draft, making sure I have transitions as needed and that everything flows. Now here, for the support of my first reason, I just jotted down my ideas and I didn't finish the sentence. As I go to put that support in with support number 1, I'm going to write out the quote from the article that I want to use and go back and do a little bit of looking through the article for that support. Then, along with all of the other reasons I add in my introduction, I'm going to put reason number 2 in there. I think she made a lot of good points and gave a lot of examples about why animals should be in the zoo. And I found some support that I will put into complete sentences with transitions as I write my draft. You will also be asked to make a counterpoint. Why didn't you choose the other article? I thought that Kid Territory, Why Do We Need Zoos? Gave a lot of good history, but they didn't give examples that were vivid and concrete enough for me to say that animals do belong in a zoo. And then finally, go ahead and add your conclusion in there that summarizes your key points. As you do your pre-write and put it into your draft, make sure you're adding transitions, adding why you didn't choose the other article, and making sure you have detailed support for your reasons about why you chose the article that you did that has the best argument. Let's see if we accomplished our goals. Did we get the results we want? Did we decide who made that better argument? I know my choice was zoos, joys, or jails. I thought she had a lot of vivid examples and really good support for her reasons in her writing. Then I'll ask you this question. Are you ready to draft your analysis? Use your pre-write. You've already done the hard work. Go ahead and put it in your draft. Make sure you have transitions and complete sentences that flow together. If you have questions, we will be having a writer's workshop in live class where you can talk about your writing, or you can visit me in the drop-in centers during office hours or by appointment.